Welcome back to Your English Boost YouTube channel, where we help you supercharge your English communication skills with practical everyday topics.
Today, we are diving deep into a topic that touches everyone's life. Everyday shopping conversations, exploring how we talk and interact when we buy things.
Have you ever felt a little lost in a store, unsure how to ask for something specific or understand a confusing label on a new product?
Absolutely, James. It's not just about knowing individual words, but also about understanding the social flow of a conversation and the cultural nuances of shopping.
Indeed. From asking about prices to finding the perfect item, everyday shopping is a fantastic opportunity to practice your English in real-life situations.
So let's kick things off by discussing the differences between shopping at a large grocery store and a bustling local market. What are your initial thoughts on this comparison?
Well, a big grocery store usually offers everything under one roof, with fixed prices and often easy self-checkout options for a quick and convenient experience. You can find almost anything you need there, from fresh produce to cleaning supplies, making it a very efficient place for your big weekly shopping trips.
That's true, but I often feel like the food at a market, especially the fruits and vegetables, tastes much fresher and has a distinct, more authentic flavor. The atmosphere at a market is also entirely different. It feels more lively and personal, with a real sense of community among the sellers and buyers.
I totally agree. Markets often have a more vibrant energy, and you can sometimes talk directly to the farmers or small producers themselves, which is quite special. It's a wonderful way to learn about where your food comes from, and sometimes even get advice on how to prepare unfamiliar ingredients at home.
Plus, at markets, you might discover unique local products that you would never find in a big supermarket, offering a great way to explore new regional flavors. For example, I once found incredible homemade jam at a market that tasted completely different from anything I'd ever bought in a large store.
And you can often find organic or locally grown produce more easily at a market, supporting small businesses in your community directly. This direct interaction with sellers is also a fantastic way to practice your English conversation skills in a friendly and relaxed environment.
Another difference is often the payment methods. Markets sometimes prefer cash, while supermarkets readily accept cards and mobile payments.
Speaking of finding things, how do you usually ask for help when you're shopping and you can't locate something specific? What are some useful phrases, Emily?
I usually start with a polite, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the pasta is located?" Or, "Excuse me, I'm looking for the milk, can you help me please?" It's always good to be polite and clear, even if you are feeling a bit rushed or stressed, to ensure you get the assistance you require quickly and efficiently.
Yes, and if you can't remember the exact name of the item, you can always describe it like, "I'm looking for something to clean the floor with, a kind of liquid cleaner." Sometimes, holding up a picture on your phone or pointing to an empty spot on the shelf can also be very helpful in getting your message across clearly.
That's a clever tip, James. Sometimes a simple, "Do you have any more of this particular item in stock?" can also work perfectly if you're holding an empty package or container. And remember to listen carefully to the directions they give you, as they might use words like aisle, shelf, or near the frozen goods, which are useful to know.
Moving on, what's your favorite thing to buy when you go shopping, and what's your least favorite, Emily? Tell us about your personal shopping preferences.
Oh, that's a fun question to consider. I absolutely love buying fresh flowers. They instantly brighten up my home and make me feel happy every time I see their beautiful colors. They add such a lovely touch to any room, and choosing them from a wide variety always brings a smile to my face, making the shopping trip more enjoyable.
I completely understand that feeling. My favorite thing to purchase is probably fresh bread from a local bakery. The smell is simply amazing, and it always tastes so incredibly good. There's nothing quite like warm, crusty bread fresh from the oven, and it's a small luxury that always makes my day better, no matter what else is happening.
On the other hand, my least favorite task is definitely buying cleaning products. It just feels like a necessary chore, and I always forget which one I need for each specific surface. The huge selection of different sprays and liquids can be overwhelming, and I often just pick one randomly, hoping it will do the job adequately.
And my least favorite? Definitely socks. I always seem to lose one of them in the laundry, and then I have a drawer full of single socks, which is incredibly frustrating for me. I wish there was a magic solution for keeping pairs together, but alas, the sock monster seems to claim one from every new pack I buy.
Haha, the universal mystery of the missing sock. It truly is a common problem, and I'm sure many of our listeners can relate to that peculiar and annoying issue. All right, let's talk about money now. How do you effectively ask about prices and special offers in a store, especially when you are diligently trying to stick to a budget?
The most common phrase is, "How much is this?" Or, "What's the price of this item?" If you want to know about discounts, you can ask, "Is this on sale today?" Or, "Are there any special offers on these apples today?" Sometimes works very well, especially if you see a sign that looks like a new promotion.
That's right. And for a bit more specific detail, you could ask, "Is it cheaper if I buy 2 of these?" Or, "What's the price per kilo when buying fruits or vegetables?" It's also smart to check for signs that say, "Buy one, get one free," or "2 for the price of one," which are fantastic ways to save money immediately.
It's also useful to know phrases like, "Is there a discount for students or seniors?" Or, "Do you have a loyalty card program?" if you shop there often and want to save more. Don't be afraid to ask, because you might miss out on a great deal if you simply assume there are no further reductions available.
Knowing specific food vocabulary is incredibly important, especially when you're trying to choose ingredients for a new recipe or describe something delicious you want to eat.
Definitely. Imagine trying to buy fresh cilantro but only knowing the general word herb. It can lead to some confusing and even humorous situations at the supermarket. Learning specific names for different types of meat, various vegetables, popular fruits, and all kinds of dairy products makes your shopping trips much smoother and more enjoyable.
And not just for shopping, but also for confidently ordering food at a restaurant or accurately describing what you cooked to your friends and family. It's truly an essential skill. Plus, knowing common food terms helps you understand recipes better and even discover new dishes you might want to try preparing at home, expanding your culinary skills.
Have you ever impulsively tried a completely new food while shopping? Maybe something you'd never seen before, and then bought it to experience something unique?
Oh yes, I once bought a dragon fruit because it looked so exotic and wonderfully interesting on the shelf. I had no idea how it tasted, but I was extremely curious about it. It was a bit bland, to be honest. Not bursting with flavor, but the overall experience of trying something new was still fun, and it made for a good story later.
That sounds like a cool adventure. I once bought a whole durian fruit in an Asian market, and the smell was incredibly strong, but the taste was quite unique and memorable. It was a very memorable experience, even if I'm not sure I'll buy one again anytime soon, but it certainly broadened my food horizons and cultural understanding.
I think it's important to be brave and try new things, especially when traveling. You never know what new favorite food you might discover on your journey.
Speaking of markets, let's discuss the interesting topic of negotiating prices. Is that something you usually do, and what phrases would you use if you wanted to try?
In many traditional markets around the world, especially outside of big modern supermarkets, negotiating is common and often genuinely expected by the sellers. It's a fun skill to learn and practice, and it can save you some money, particularly when buying souvenirs or handmade crafts from local artisans.
You could politely say, "Is that your very best price, or can you give me a little discount on this?" and then suggest a slightly lower price you are willing to pay. Sometimes just asking, "Is there any flexibility on the price?" can open the door to a negotiation without directly offering a different number immediately.
It's really important to be polite and friendly, never aggressive, and always be ready to walk away if the price isn't right for your budget or expectations. A simple, "How about X amount?" while smiling can often lead to a good deal, but always remember to do it respectfully and with a good attitude.
Do you use a shopping list, Emily? I find them incredibly helpful for organizing purchases and making sure I absolutely don't forget anything important for my home.
Absolutely, James. A shopping list is truly my best friend. Without it, I usually end up buying things I don't need and forgetting the most essential items for my kitchen. It saves both valuable time and hard-earned money, and it really helps you focus on what you actually came to the store to buy, avoiding unnecessary impulse purchases.
I completely agree. I usually categorize my list by aisle, like dairy, produce, frozen foods, so I can move quickly through the store without frustrating backtracking. It also helps me realize if I've run out of something critical at home, like coffee or sugar, before I'm already at the store and can't add it to my list.
That's a smart strategy. It makes the whole shopping trip so much more efficient, especially when you are in a hurry or the store is very crowded during peak hours. Plus, checking off items as you go gives a satisfying feeling of accomplishment, and you know you haven't missed anything crucial for your household needs.
How do you feel about the difference between shopping in person versus online? Do you have a strong preference for one over the other in your daily life?
For groceries, I generally prefer in-person shopping because I like to choose my own fresh produce and carefully check expiration dates myself before buying. It's important for me to physically inspect fruits and vegetables to ensure they are ripe and free from damage, which is something you can't do online.
However, for non-food items like books, clothes, or electronics, online shopping is incredibly convenient, especially when I know exactly what I want to purchase. The ability to compare prices from different retailers easily and read customer reviews before making a decision is a huge advantage of online shopping.
I totally agree. Online shopping saves so much time and effort, and you can often find better deals or a much wider selection of products there. But sometimes, you just need to touch and feel a product before you buy it. And for that sensory experience, in-person shopping is completely irreplaceable for many people.
Let us discuss payment methods and dealing with change at the end of your shopping trip. What phrases are particularly useful at the checkout counter when you're paying for your items?
You can confidently ask, "Do you accept credit cards?" Or "Can I please pay with cash?" if you're unsure about the accepted payment methods at that particular store. And when you're given change, you might politely say, "Could you please give me small bills for this amount?" Or "Keep the change," if you want to leave a small tip.
That's a good point. Sometimes, if you run a little short on cash, you can ask, "Can I split the payment?" if you want to use two different cards or a combination of cash and card. It's always good to be prepared for different scenarios, especially if you are in a foreign country where payment systems might vary significantly.
Another common question is, "Can I get a receipt, please?" which is important if you need to return something or track your spending.
What about returning items? It can sometimes feel a bit awkward to do, but it's important to know how to do it correctly and politely without any issues.
Indeed. You'd typically say, "I'd like to return this item, please," and then the staff will usually ask for your receipt, so make sure to have it readily available. They might also ask, "What's wrong with it?" or "Why are you returning it?" So be prepared to explain the reason clearly and calmly, without getting upset.
Yes, and make sure you ask about the store's specific return policy before you even buy something, especially for expensive items, so you know your rights beforehand. Understanding if they offer a full refund, store credit, or an exchange is very important to avoid disappointment later on.
Shopping habits definitely vary across cultures. Have you personally experienced any surprising cultural differences when shopping in another country, James?
Oh, absolutely. In some countries, it's quite customary to politely haggle for prices even in small shops or local markets, while in others, it's considered rude and unnecessary. I distinctly remember being surprised in Japan by how quiet and incredibly orderly the supermarkets were, which is a stark contrast to some bustling markets I've seen elsewhere.
That's truly fascinating. In some places, cash is king, and card payments might not be accepted everywhere, especially in smaller, independent stores or rural areas. It really teaches you to be adaptable and observant when you travel, and it adds another enriching layer to your language learning journey and overall experience.
And sometimes, simply asking, "Is this typical?" or how do people usually buy this, can provide useful insights into local customs and traditions. These cultural differences make shopping an even more interesting way to explore a new place and understand its people better.
Let's talk about the importance of reading labels and understanding ingredients. This is especially crucial for health reasons or if you have specific allergies or dietary needs.
Absolutely. Always remember to carefully check the nutrition facts in the detailed list of ingredients if you have dietary restrictions or simply want to make healthier choices for yourself. This is vital for those with allergies to nuts, dairy, or gluten, ensuring they avoid any ingredients that could cause an adverse reaction or discomfort.
Look for common terms like sugar-free, gluten-free, organic, or dairy-free, and always be aware of common allergens like nuts or specific dairy products. Understanding these terms can help you make informed decisions and ensure your food is safe and suitable for your specific diet and lifestyle.
And remember to always check the expiration date, which clearly tells you when the product is best to consume, to ensure you are buying fresh and safe items.
Finally, let's touch on the critical skill of budgeting while shopping. It's so incredibly important to stay within your financial limits, especially with prices going up these days.
Yes, it truly is. I always strongly recommend making a detailed shopping list and sticking to it strictly, and also setting a maximum amount you're willing to spend before you even enter the store. This strict approach helps prevent impulse buys and ensures you only purchase what you genuinely need, which is essential for saving money effectively.
Comparing prices between different brands and actively looking for sales or special offers can also significantly help you save money and stick to your budget effectively. Another very useful tip is to avoid shopping when you're feeling extremely hungry, because everything looks delicious then, and you might buy things you don't really need.
And don't forget to check your pantry and fridge before you go so you don't accidentally buy something you already have plenty of at home.
It's all about mindful shopping and making smart choices to improve your everyday English.
Wow, Emily, we've covered so much about everyday shopping today, from asking for help to understanding cultural differences, which are all vital skills.
Indeed, James. Every shopping trip is a fantastic opportunity to practice your English vocabulary and build confidence in real-life conversations.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to try out these phrases next time you visit a store or a local market, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable at first.
The more you speak, the more natural it will become, and soon you'll be confidently navigating shopping conversations like a native speaker.
Remember, learning English is a journey, not a destination, and every small conversation you have adds to your overall progress and fluency.
Keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep boosting your English with us here at Your English Boost YouTube channel.
We hope this episode has given you some great tools for your next shopping adventure. We can't wait to see you in our next episode.
Before we go, tell us in the comments, what's the most unusual item you've ever bought while shopping in another country?